It's amazing anyone in Hollywood will work with this group. Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for another top 10 most difficult actors to work with. Before we begin, we publish new videos every day, so be sure to subscribe for more great content. For this list, we're looking at more complainers and the most volatile prima donnas in the acting business, at least according to their reputations and public images. If there's a celeb you think we missed, be sure to check out our other list of the top 10 most difficult actors to work with.
I'm gonna f***ing kick your f***ing ass. You know, shut up for a second, all right?
Number 10, Steven Seagal.
The police are looking for you, but I'm gonna have to kill you first.
It seems increasingly difficult for Seagal to find credible work these days. Lord knows it's been a long, hard minute since the last time he had a box office hit. That may have something to do with the fact that he's supposedly a nightmare on set. Not only is Seagal cited as being highly critical of others, he's also been known to physically intimidate cast members.
And he Aikido'd me against a brick wall. Pow! Knocked all the air out of me. I was like, what? What? Yeah.
He purportedly slammed comedian John Leguizamo against a wall simply for laughing at him. Because, you know, comedians aren't allowed to be funny. We'll put it this way. Henry Rollins has stated he'd rather drink latex paint than work with Seagal.
If you thought you could save the world, but nobody would know it, and you might have to give your life in doing it, would you do it?
Number 9, Thomas Gibson.
All right, everybody right now, what's my worst quality?
The former Criminal Minds actor-director was well known for being a constant source of friction on set. Fellow cast members have claimed Gibson is highly demanding, requiring scheduling to revolve around his agenda.
I love Thomas Gibson.
Okay.
I actually sent him a text when I found out what happened.
Did he respond?
No, he did not.
Worse, however, is his temper. Gibson was fired from Criminal Minds in August 2016, after the final straw in a string of controversial incidents. In 2010, he reportedly shoved an assistant director during a shoot. In 2013, he picked up a DUI, something producers were not pleased about. Then in 2016, Gibson allegedly kicked writer-producer Virgil Williams.
I wouldn't have kept kicking, but I was afraid you didn't get my plans.
An established pain in the ass, Criminal Minds simply decided to let Gibson go.
It's not a request.
Number 8, Lea Michele.
What can you do when your good isn't good enough?
Don't assume the cast of Glee reflected the show's name when the cameras weren't rolling. Rather, Lea Michele, who played one of the singing stars Rachel Berry, apparently took on the cutthroat mentality of a real high school diva when it came to her behavior on set.
Don't use the fact that Jesse and I once had feelings for each other as an excuse for my inevitable win.
According to reports, Michele was rude to all involved with production. She worked on her own time, making the cast and crew stand around and wait extensively until she was ready to begin shooting. More offensive, however, is the crew members claim Michele refused to speak to junior members of the Glee staff. Evidently, gleeful is not the word to describe Michele. Number 7, Klaus Kinski.
Listen, the children of the night make their music.
Even the most difficult of actors tends to make a few friends in the industry. And even if they don't, sometimes you can put up with the worst of the worst if they're simply that damn talented. And then sometimes you have people like Klaus Kinski, who was reportedly so difficult that nobody gave him a second chance. Though not a household name, the German actor appeared in over 100 films throughout his long career. Despite that extensive list, Kinski only ever worked with one director on multiple occasions. All the others refused to deal with him again. To put it bluntly, Kinski has been described as insane. Prone to frequent blow-ups, there really is no comparison to his madness.
Ich spiele es jetzt so, wie ich will und aus. Gut, ja, aber wir müssen natürlich wissen. Endlich aufhören, mit ihr Hausfrauenanweisungen zu geben.
Number 6, Teri Hatcher.
I think you should spend some time with a decent role model, don't you?
While Lea Michele defied the sentiment of her show, Teri Hatcher fit right in with hers. Hatcher, probably most known for her role as desperate housewife Susan Meyer, didn't have to change much of what's allegedly her personal character to fit into the drama-filled world.
Oh my God. We are so not having this conversation.
Reports indicate that Hatcher was extremely cold to her co-stars on set, making even the easiest scenes uncomfortable to shoot. As an indicator of how poorly she meshed with her housewife's family, Hatcher was left out of an end-of-series gift from the ladies to the crew. The feud between Hatcher and the women was well known to all involved with the show, so her snub came as a surprise to no one.
You know you've hit middle age when your memories become more important to you than your dreams.
Number 5. William Shatner.
All right, you mutinous, disloyal, computerized half-breed. We'll see about you deserting my ship.
Captain Kirk and Mr. Spock may have overcome their differences and become friends in the world of Star Trek, but that wasn't the case for the real-life relationship between actors William Shatner and Leonard Nimoy. Shatner was reportedly the jealous type, upset at the amount of fan mail Nimoy received, and insecure over his importance to the show. Shatner apparently stole dialogue from Nimoy and other actors to elevate his own significance, and yet Nimoy was Shatner's best man at his 4th wedding.
You've been most patient with my kinds of men.
Shatner also apparently feuded with other actors on the series though, like Nichelle Nichols and George Takei.
You and the horse you rode in on.
Evidently obsessed with his own status, Shatner reportedly threw fits to make sure he was the center of attention and in control.
That was a very unusual question. Did you do research on that?
This is one of our viewers, one of your fans. Don't mock us.
You're mocking our viewers.
Number 4. Sean Penn.
Sean Penn, you rude. Dumb, rude, and full of farts. You stanky Sean. Real-time stanker.
When it came out in early 2016 that infamous Mexican drug lord El Chapo met and interviewed with actor Sean Penn, the most reasonable question asked by the public was, why? What qualifications does Penn have? Well, if he were to respond to that question, we probably wouldn't be able to publish it due to explicit language and its overall awful message.
Forget about blame. We're going to put all our focus, all our energy, all our billions of dollars on the bad guy.
Though known as a great actor, he is also famous for being incredibly rude and an overall jerk. We'll skip all the allegations of domestic abuse and just focus on his very real identity as a nightmare to work with.
Well, I'm not going to do that.
Allegedly hostile and intimidating, he's not someone you want to share the screen with.
My own little daughter, and I can't even cry for her.
Number 3. Joan Crawford.
You look down on me because I work for a living, don't you?
While some actors are blatantly difficult to work with, there are others who are much more subtle, and perhaps no one played that role better than Joan Crawford. An undeniably beautiful woman, Crawford gained a reputation throughout Hollywood for using her body to control others. A master manipulator, Crawford sparked problems with cast members by reportedly sleeping around with fellow actors and directors. In arguably the most notorious feud in Hollywood history, Crawford developed an intense hatred for Bette Davis, who reciprocated the loathsome sentiment.
You don't know what you're saying. Blanche, you aren't ever gonna sell this house.
Keeping a character, the beef developed after Crawford stole Betty's love, franchot tone. It's an unwritten rule to keep your hands away from what's not yours, but Crawford never played by the rules.
All this time we could have been friends.
Number 2. Chevy Chase.
And I want to look him straight in the eye, and I want to tell him what a cheap, lying, no-good, rotten, four-flushing, low-life, snake-licking, dirt-eating, inbred, overstuffed, ignorant, blood-sucking, dog-kissing, brainless, dickless, hopeless, heartless, fat-ass, bug-eyed, stiff-legged, spotty-lipped, worm-headed sack of monkey shit he is!
Who hasn't Chevy Chase pissed off? Kindly regarded as perhaps the biggest grump in Hollywood, Chase has been described as an indefensible, cruelly vicious put-down artist.
Put yourself down now.
As early as his SNL days, Chase was burning bridges with the likes of John Belushi, Bill Murray, and the writers. He's talked serious smack about most big names in the industry. Some notables include Will Ferrell, Howard Stern, Kevin Smith, and Bill Maher. Most recently, Chase destroyed the one good thing he had going with the instant cult classic show Community.
Chevy, how you feeling about the Dan Harmon stuff?
The what?
Dan Harmon.
Who's that?
He heavily criticized the series and showrunner while he was still a cast member, and was known to have extremely offensive on-set tirades. We can't imagine Chase has many friends left.
Am I right, Jew?
Say the whole word!
Jewy?
Before we unveil our number 1 pick, here are some dishonorable mentions.
I don't like the way this script of ours is turning out. It's turning into a seedy little drama.
There is something you could do for me, Doctor.
Anything? I mean, yeah.
I need a machine gun.
Number 1. Christian Bale.
Am I gonna walk around and rip your f***ing lights down?
Who doesn't remember Bale's eye-opening audio recording that came out publicly in 2009? The grainy 2008 recording exposed an incident on the set of Terminator Salvation, where Bale absolutely blew up at the film's director of photography, Shane Hurlbut, for walking into his line of vision during a scene.
I want you off the f***ing set, you prick! Sorry. No, don't just be sorry. Think for one f***ing second.
The recording is incredibly disturbing to hear, as Bale unleashes a vicious and unwarranted tirade on Hurlbut. But it's not just his volatile temper that makes Bale so hard to work with. He's a method actor, which means he fully invests himself in his characters. So when you work with Bale, you don't just get his craziness, you get the craziness of his characters too.
Did you know I'm utterly insane?
Do you agree with our picks? Check out these other great clips from WatchMojo and subscribe for new videos every day.